Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get set to bring you game number 2 of today's doubleheader action between the Bellevue University Bruins and the Presentation College Saints. If you weren't with us with game number 1, it was a slugfest. The Bellevue Bruins winning that one by a score of 28-6. 28 runs on 20 hits for the Bruins, 6 runs on 11 hits for a Presentation. As we get ready to go in this second game, the Bruins now 31-6 overall, 15-1 in conference. The Presentation College Saints still winless on the season, 0-31, 0-17 in conference play. On the mound for Presentation, as they are once again the home team throughout this series, will be right-hander Alex Tallman. Tallman, 23 2/3 innings worked on the season, an 0-2 record. He's allowed 53 hits, 41 runs, 32 of them earned, 6 walks against 17 strikeouts, a 12.17 earned run action. We'll give you the lineups as we get ready to go with this game number 2. A quick turnaround from game number 1 for the Bellevue Bruins. Pretty much the same lineup we saw in the batting order as game number 1. Some changes for Presentation. The first man up for the Bruins, leadoff batter Kanta Kobayashi. The first pitch from Alex Tallman is a called strike 1. Oh, cut the music.
So I got the approval to get Jason next time?
There we go.
I was helping someone do something.
Settling back into our spots for game number 2 after watching base runners run around the bags in game number 1. The next pitch from Alex Tallman, low, 1-1 the count, evened up on Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta, a 4-hit game number 1. 4 hits, 4 runs batted in, 4 runs scored, doing everything a leadoff hitter should do. The next pitch from Tallman stays away, 2-1. The field lights are on. We're back at John Stella Field at Brown Park for game number 2. We were in the mid-80s for the temperatures in game number 1. It'll cool down a little bit. Kanta Kobayashi picking up where he left off. That one will drop into right center field. Kanta with a big turnaround first, but he will head back there. So 5 hits already today for Kanta Kobayashi. Kobayashi, Barnett, Lacey, Grant, Grade, Sirois, Richardson, Staley, and Townsend. The batting order for the Bruins, same thing that the head coach Dwayne Mollick's brought to you for game number 1. You score 28 runs. There's nothing wrong with the way your order is set up. Here's Connor Barnett, designated hitter once again. Connor had 3 hits in game number 1. Throw to first base. Kobayashi back in plenty of time. Every Bruins starter had at least 1 hit, most of them having multiple hit games, and some of the reserves off the bench pinch hitting got hits as well. Swing and a miss by Barnett. 0-1 the count. Dwayne Mollick's running through a whole series of signs. Let's see if the Bruins have something on in the early going. Bellevue took advantage of those 20 hits, plus a whole ton of walks, 4 hit by pitches, to manufacture more than 1 run in each of the 7 innings of that game number 1. Here's the next pitch, up and away, 1-1 the count on Barnett. Barnett, right-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher, Alex Tallman. Chop foul up the third base line, right near the feet of head coach Dwayne Monlick. Ethan Leach is at first base in game number 2. Trent White back at second. Dawson Barson, the shortstop, and Louis Martinez at third. Across the outfield, Kobe Woodfin is in left. Throw over to first base. Dominic Sarmiento back in center. And the right fielder is Matthew Womack. Behind the plate, Blake Portalski getting the start with Tallman. Hit and run is on. Chop to short. Only play will be at first base. Across the diamond, Dawson Barson, 6-3 on the play. Kobayashi advancing to second. So he's in scoring position for right fielder Jake Lacey.
Next to the plate, the right fielder, Jake Lacey.
Takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Jake got the Bruins on the board in the top of the first inning, that 3-run home run. Had 2 RBIs again in the 4th inning, so a 5 RBI day for Lacey. 1-1 the count. Logan Grant awaits on deck. Grant had a good game in game number 1 as well. Say that for a lot of Bruins. Gets past the catcher all the way to the screen. Wild pitch. Advances Kobayashi to third. 1-2 the count on Jake Lacey. Now he's just got to try to make contact somewhere past the pitcher or not directly at the third baseman. And that should be able to score Kobayashi. Tallman's going to try to shoot for a spot here. Portalski sets up on the outer half. That pitch goes there but bounces, so 2-2 the count. Bellevue comes into today's action hitting .341 as a team. That average will go up as they pounded out 20 hits in that first game. That's a base hit right back through the box. Jake Lacey turning it around. He'll pick up another run batted in on the day as the Bruins take a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. If you weren't with us for game number 1, this whole series was supposed to have been played in Aberdeen, South Dakota, the home of Presentation College, but the extended winter conditions up there, still some snow on the ground, and unplayable conditions move the series here. Next up, the Bruin catcher, Logan Grant.
I'll give you how much you earned for this game. $50. Swift kick in the ass? Oh, yeah.
So Bellevue will be the host for all 7 of their conference series this season. It happened a couple of years ago, too. Grant shows bunt, pulls it back on the play. Jake Lacey steals second base.
I believe it was 6 out of 7, but I'll confirm.
Was that like 3 years ago? It was maybe 6 out of 7, okay. Chopped off the front foot of Grant. That one's going to sting for a little bit. And maybe longer than just a little bit. Logan pops up and meanders around the home plate area. Home plate umpire giving him a little extra time. He'll walk the baseball out to the pitcher. A little courtesy. Grant behind the plate again for game number 2. We frequently see him catch both ends of the doubleheader. An Ironman behind the plate. And as we found out last week, also a goalie in his hockey career as a younger guy. Looks like he's going to be okay, ready to go. Tallman back to the stretch and delivers. That one's hit in the air to left center field, up into the high sky. Wind carrying it some more. Is it out or is it in? It is going to be a home run, a wall scraper, but it counts nonetheless. Got an assist from the 20-plus mile-an-hour wind blowing out of the south. Logan Grant with a smile on his face as he rounds third base. He doesn't care by how much it gets out as long as it does get out. A 2-run home run, and the Bruins again off to a lead in the top of the first inning. For Logan Grant, that is now his 6th home run of the year.
Next to the plate, the third baseman.
And now with the bases empty, the batter is third baseman Nick Grade.
2018, it was all of them.
In 2018, the Bruins hosted all 7 conference series. Presentation has not had a home series this year. All their games on the road, or a couple of the other series that they've been the home team, they've played at other locations. They've played a series in North Platte, Nebraska. They played a series in Lincoln, Nebraska. Now their 3rd trip here to the Husker State. 1-1 pitch off the outside corner. 2-1 the count on Grade. Excuse me, 3-0 the count on Grade. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk for Nick as he heads down to first base. Next up for the Bruins, left fielder Mathieu Sirois. Sirois had 2 hits on a 2-for-4 game in game number 1. Grade had a 2-run home run in that opener today. On first base now with the walk. Mathieu digs his cleats into that right-handed batter's box. Another throw to first base. Presentation trying to keep Bellevue base runners close. Bellevue didn't have to steal a lot in game number 1. They got out to the early lead. They still ran the bases like they usually did. They just didn't bunt and steal a whole lot. Winning that one by just a few. 28-6, their highest total since 2019.
Yes. They also scored 28 against Viterbo that year.
Strike called. Bellevue scored 28 against Viterbo in the NSAA championship game.
26 against Valley in the championship. Also scored 28 against Viterbo that year.
Oh, excuse me. Also against Viterbo, not in the championship game. They scored 26 in that one. Swing and a miss. The throw down to second base is not in time. A stolen base for Nick Grade. Swing and a miss at the plate. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Serwa. Interesting move to second base. Tallman turned, but second baseman Trent White not anywhere near the bag. Popped up. Third baseman Martinez in foul territory, circling now the shortstop, and it's a fair ball. Both the shortstop and the third baseman trying to corral it. Right now the sky is hard to read on those high fly balls. The wind not blowing as hard as it did earlier today, but Mathieu Serwa, the beneficiary of a high sky base hit. Grade obviously not able to advance on the play. The ball landed about 3 feet into fair territory, about 10 feet or so behind the third base bag. Wasn't sure if you could see it in your screen, right on the edge of the left side of your screen. Here's first baseman Trad Richardson. A breaking ball misses inside. 5 of the 6 Bellevue batters in the inning have reached. Again, the throw to second base as Tallman, again, trying to keep base runners close. Swing and a miss, a big sweeping breaking ball from Alex Tallman. Evens the count at 1-1. Trad, the only Bruin that didn't get a hit in game number 1, but he was on base 3 times. Correct that, 2 times on a walk and a hit by pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on the Montana native. Here's the pitch. Chop foul over near the presentation dugout. 2-2 the count. Trad 6'2", 200 pounds. Versatile player. He's seen action at first base and catcher. Line hard down the right field line, but it's going to tail about 3 feet into foul territory. That would have scored definitely 1 and possibly 2 if it stayed fair. Coming to you live from John Stella Field at Brown Park in Omaha, Nebraska. Game number 2 of today's doubleheader. Mick Krupski back behind the microphone. Bill Mullins to my right, feeding me with tidbits of information all season long. 3-2 the count on the Bruin first baseman. Payoff pitch upcoming. Let's see if Dwayne Mollix has the base runners in motion on this full count pitch. Just 1 out. Trying to stay out of a double play. And the step back to second base. No throw. You have to throw, and that's going to be the 3rd time that he stepped off trying to make plays to second base. 22nd violation, so that'll be the automatic walk. So Trad heads down to first. Mathieu to second, Nick to third. And with the bases loaded, it'll be second baseman Drew Staley. First pitch, called strike at the knees. Drew was on base 3 of the 4 times he was up, including a double and a run batted in. Way wide on that one, 1-1 to count. Alex Tallman, a 6'2 junior from Cayuga, Indiana, on the mound for the Saints. And that one just misses Staley inside. Bruin batters aren't afraid to take a pitch to the body. They very seldom get out of the way of anything in tight to the body, except in the head area. That's, you don't want to take one to the noggin. A breaking ball gets into the zone. Now 2-2 the count. We started this one a little bit before 8 o'clock Central Time. Second game of the doubleheader. That one's hit into right center field. That's going to drop for extra bases. In comes Sirois. Richardson right behind him. Into scores, all 3 runners. That was great around from third. Sirois from second. Richardson comes in. 3 runs batted in on the double by Drew Staley. Nice piece of hitting going with the pitch. And Nick Grade comes in first. Only 90 feet to go for him. For Mathieu Sirois, 180-foot adventure. Trad Richardson, 270-foot journey. They all come in for the 3 runs in the inning. And again, for the Bruins, a 5-spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make it a 6-spot on the board. In the top of the first inning, a visit to the mound.
I think 16, but hold on.
As a quick hook for starter Alex Tallman. Presentation looking for their first win. And Bill, you are correct. Number 16 on the pitch for Presentation.
What do I win, Monty?
Tyler Clapp. You win what's behind door number 3.
Number 16, Tyler Clapp.
Tyler Clapp into the ball game. So only 1/3 of an inning for starter Alex Tallman. Presentation used 4 pitchers in game number 1. Clapp, a senior out of Glendive, Montana. So another Big Sky Country athlete on the field here today.
Not good.
This is the 10th appearance of the season for Clapp. He started 4 games, an 0-5 record on the year in 23 innings, 49 hits, 47 runs, 42 of them earned, 13 walks against 30 strikeouts, a 16.43 earned run average. No, it's been a struggle of a season. I mean, there's no other way to say it. 0-31.
Like 9 games.
For first-year head coach Evan Brand, inheriting a program that has been toward the bottom of the North Star Athletic Association, and then with word coming in January that the school will be closing at the end of this academic year. It's the final season for anything. Some of the programs, some of the academic programs are going to be transferring to other colleges. I know Presentation has a strong nursing program.
Townsend.
C.J. Townsend at the plate for the Bruins as the purple and gold squad, clad in black and gray today, will have batted around in the top of the first inning. 6 runs on 4 hits to this point for the Bruins. Townsend takes a breaking pitch for a called strike 1. C.J. had an awesome game number 1. 6 runs batted in. Couple of doubles. 4 runs scored as well out of the bottom of the order. A great production there for CJ. Lays off that pitch low and away, 1-1.
Last year DH for everybody. I mean, if you want, your pitcher can still hit, like Shohei still hits for the Angels. But that's the only one I know of.
Literally, yeah, like one.
Yeah, he's an absolute freak.
Clap comes set at the shoulders. Breaking ball in the zone, 1-2. So a couple of breaking balls in the zone. Clap ahead in the count over Townsend.
Make it more exciting. Not pitcher.
Drew Staley, the runner at second, gets his lead after that 3-run batted in double cleared the bases. White, the second baseman, trying to keep him close. Here's the pitch home. Way wide, all the way to the backstop. A strong carom back to the catcher.
You're going a wild pitch.
But Drew Staley makes it to third. Yeah, no debate whether that's a wild pitch or a pass ball as it went sailing. The bottom part of the backstop here is basically a 2x10 foundation, so a lot of times if the ball hits that directly, it's going to come right back to the catcher as it did that time. But Portalski had trouble finding the handle and not able to make a play at third. Infield pulled in. Breaking ball drops low. Good location for the count on the pitch by Tyler Clapp. Good play discipline by C.J. Townsend. All the infielders in a couple of steps from their normal depth, going to try to cut down the run at the plate. Trailing already 6-0. And it's a walk for C.J. Townsend. So 8 of the 9 members of the batting order for the Bruins reach base in the top of the first inning. Second time through, which means we got to scratch all these numbers off the top of my scorecard because they don't mean anything anymore. Kanta Kobayashi led it off with a single,
Kanta Kobayashi.
scoring the first run of the game. Kanta continuing to be an excellent guy at the top of the order. Fastball a little bit low. Bellevue currently in second place in the conference. Hit and run, chop foul. Bellevue 16-1 overall. A half game behind Dakota State, 16-0.
Especially with Conta's 1-0. Yeah, he definitely called him. Yeah, with Conta's back control.
1-1 count.
I just don't know why he would.
There's one into center field. And it's over the head of the center fielder, Sarmiento. Looks like he had a little difficulty finding it. One run is in. Second one coming around third. The throw will be to third base. It will not. Oh. The plate umpire signals out on Kobayashi. Dwayne Monlick's not agreeing. Everybody up here in the press box as well. But it'll be a double for Kanta. And 2 runs batted in as Staley and Townsend come in to score. So John Stella Field, not a real big triples kind of a park.
Second spot, designated hitter.
Conte had a shot there, but the umpire's call says out. So 8-6-5 on the play. That'll bring up Connor Barnett. Connor Barnett drives one into left center field. He'll round first base and hang on there as left fielder Colby Woodfin gets that one in.
Got a snowman in the first inning.
Yeah, I know, bro. I'm about to watch Quick for like 1 or 2 innings. I'm so disappointed.
He might not even start at this point.
Yeah, there's really no point.
8-0 lead for the Bruins.
Chase Lacey.
So Barnett, the only man not to reach his first time up, gets on here with the single. Here's Jake Lacey. Lays off the pitch up in the zone. Lacey an RBI single. First run of the game for the Bruins, driving in Kobayashi. Way back in the top of the first inning. Oh, no, wait, we're still in the top of the first inning. A snowman on the board for the Bruins. Lacey goes up after that one, but can't get to it. Bruins have scored now in 8 consecutive innings, counting the 7 innings in game number 1. And this one in game number 2. All of them have been crooked numbers as well. Line foul, right field side.
Guess the rate we're going tomorrow.
Guess what?
What?
I
1-1 the count. 1 on, 2 out.
on my name.
Yeah.
But they already know because I tell everyone.
Oh, very good.
Catcher setting up off the outside edge. The pitch comes in high. Blake Pertowski behind the plate for presentation in game number 2. In game number 1, it was Kobe
When you get around to it.
Wagatsuma. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the catcher's glove. The strikeout. The first strikeout of the game for pitcher Tyler Clapp, and that'll come to an end of the top of the first inning. 8 runs on 7 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after a half. The Bruins 8 and the Saints coming to bat. All right, we had a lot of great text messages come in during game number 1. We invite you to send them in as well for game number 2. My text message number is 402-515-7654.
Center field for the Bruins, Kana Kobayashi. And right field, number 21, Jake Lacey.
Game 2 Hubba Hubbas coming from the Sakamoto family out in Bakersfield, California. Glad you guys are with us once again. Let's go. Make it 2 in a row. And yes, alpacas. Yes, they are ours. Greetings from Spring Creek. Alpacas at Spring Creek Farm. I've discovered the joys of wearing alpaca over the last couple of years or so. Most of my undershirts and base layers are alpaca. Keeping it warm on my old body here in Nebraska. Watching in the Denver airport on flight delays to Omaha from Bozeman. Go Parker, go Bruins. Parker McMahon's family, listen in. Glad you guys are with us once again. I bet you'll draw a crowd if you pull it up there in the airport. Hey, where's that broadcast coming from? Well, from John Stella Field in Omaha, of course, inside of Brown Park. Trailing 8-0, the presentation get their first hacks against starting pitcher Blake Crippen. The Bruins southpaw delivers a breaking ball for a called strike 1. We'll give you Blake's info here in just a second. Blake, the junior from Hillsboro, Oregon. That one's lined, flared foul down the first base side. Blake Crippen and Nate Springer, both of them from Hillsboro.
My order of fast food Tex-Mex goes Moe's. Then
Now 1-2 the count.
Mo? Yeah. Never had that. Really?
This is Blake's 10th appearance on the season.
Connecticut had a bunch.
Chop foul at the plate. Only Easton Brinton, with 10 appearances, has had more.
No, it's money.
All of Blake's 10 starts, 10 appearances have been as a starting pitcher, a 7-1 record.
You gotta know what to order.
Up and away, 2-2 the count. Blake has thrown 55 in the third innings, has allowed 60 hits, 23 runs, 22 of them earned.
They're huge.
Again, fouled right side out of play. 13 walks against 44 strikeouts, and a 3.58 earned run average.
For $6, great deal. Yeah, they're
Blake has had Conference Pitcher of the Week honors awarded to him this year.
it's a little pricey, but it's good. And it's really
Easton Brinton as well. In fact, Blake twice, Easton once, named Pitchers of the Week.
it just comes rice and beans.
Count remains at 2-2 as Crippen goes back to work against Dawson Barson leading off. Barson continues the battle, fouling that one out of play right side. Barson had a good job in game number 1. He had 3 hits for the Saints. Both he and second baseman Trent White got a hat trick of hits in this afternoon's first game. Outside, full counts on Dawson Barson leading off the bottom of the first inning.
They're okay. It's just like grease, like crazy. Worson's a pretty good size, though, I've heard.
Inside, so Barson's persistence at the plate pays off as he draws the leadoff walk. 10 pitches in that opening bat. Thank you, Bill, who just proved he can count to 10.
Batting second, the left fielder.
Good thing you don't have to take your shoes off from beyond here. Here's left fielder Kobe Woodfin. Woodfin shows bunt. Grant makes the play wide of the zone. Woodfin didn't start in game number 1, came on late for an appearance. That one caroms all the way down to the first base bag. How's that for a wild pitch and then some? Went off the shin guard of Logan Grant. So the wild pitch advances Barson to second base. Okay, I just remembered. Night games, I have to take off my cap because the white on the front reflects on the screen. So my hat hair will be evident to Bill and anybody else who passes by and laughs at me in the press box. Crippen comes set, looks the runner back to second and delivers. Again, the bunt attempt. Swing and a miss, bunt and a miss by Woodfin. There we go. Thanks. Yeah. Women's basketball coach Dave Denley joining us with, look at all that hair up top. Oh, there isn't any. So, again, the bunt attempt, a breaking ball in the zone. Woodfin pulled back, but the ball found the strike zone. Now 1-2 the count. Dave Denley and the women's basketball team finishing in another good season for the Bruins. Runner-up in the conference tournament at the end of the season. Swing and a miss. Grant blocks it up on the pitch in the dirt. The out will be recorded at first. And on the throw down there, Dawson Barson alertly advances to third base. Does he get credit for stolen base on that? Just a wild pitch counts there. So the strikeout recorded 2-3. The batter will be the DH, Evan Booth. Booth was the first baseman in game number one. He had singles in his first two plate appearances and then strikeouts in his last two. So feast or famine at the plate in game one for Booth.
So the plate designated hitter, Evan Booth.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Blake Crippen. Booth hitting .267 on the season coming in. His average will go up a little bit on the 2-for-4 game one. Lays off that pitch outside. Ethan Leach, the leading hitter for presentation at .326. Another breaking ball blocked up by Grant. Leach, the batter on deck. Runner at third with one away. Again outside. So Booth's job here, try to make contact, hitting it anywhere except to the pitcher or the third baseman, on the ground to the infield or in the air to the outfield. Lays off that one, and so the second walk of the game by Blake Crippen puts runners at the corners and brings to the plate the leading batting average on the team, first baseman Ethan Leach.
Batting the cleanup spot, first baseman Ethan.
Dawson Barson, the leading RBI guy for presentation with 14 coming in. You don't usually see the leadoff guy as the biggest run producer, but that's the way it is. Popped up, out of play, right side, strike one to count on Ethan Leach.
You had a good move. Oh, yeah. You just gotta figure out when you want to use it.
Again, a foul ball, out of play, right side. Wind continuing to blow pretty much straight out to left center field. Earlier today, there were gusts up to near 40 miles an hour, steady in the 20s. That's going to help anything hit to the left field side. Off the outside edge, good location for the count on the 0-2 pitch, just off the outside edge. Good job by Leach not to chase.
All right. Coming tomorrow? Maybe. I might see it.
Crippen looks in. Bruins middle infielders hoping for a double play opportunity. Little flare on the infield. Drew Staley will glove it. Looked like he may have had difficulty finding it at first, but it floats down into his glove for the second out of the inning. So 2 out, 2 on. It'll be up to second baseman Trent White to knock in a teammate here. White had 3 hits in game number 1. Had scored 2 of the 6 runs. That one goes all the way to the screen. Here comes the runner from third. The throw to the plate is in time. Nice job of recovering by Logan Grant. A swim move by Dawson Barson. The home plate almost got his hand around the tag of Blake Crippen, but Crippen put it down, and the inning comes to an end on the 2-1 putout at home plate. No runs on no hits. There were no errors and one man left on base. After one complete inning of play, the Bellevue Bruins 8, the Presentation College Saints nothing. Down by 8, maybe not the best time to take a chance there by Barson, but he was trying to make something happen. The backstop is not very far away from home plate. Bellevue fans, we've talked about this many times during the year. Normally you want 60 feet or more behind home plate to the backstop. Here it's probably only about 45 or so feet, so a lot of times you'll get those caroms. It's not so easy to come on down from third base. Those last inning, the Lacey hit. He's the 58th Bruin with 50 or more RBIs in a season. Go Jake Lacey. That's pretty exclusive territory. At 47 coming into today's second game. As we are ready to go with the top of the second inning. Bellevue had sent 12 batters to the plate in inning number 1. Here's Logan Grant to lead it off in the second. Tyler Clapp back to the mound for Presentation. Begins his windup. The pitch low, ball 1. Off the outside edge, 2-0 hitter's advantage. Already the second pitcher of the game for Presentation. Tyler Clapp in relief of Alex Tolman. Now a 3-0 count for the Bruins backstop. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk. The Bruins have had 9 innings of play today against Presentation. The leadoff man has gotten on base in each of those 9 innings. 7 in the first game, now 2 more here. Takumi Mayeno comes in as the courtesy runner for the Bruins.
First base is courtesy runner. The
The batter is Nick Grade. Grade walked and scored his first time up today. Throw over to first, not in time. Though every Presentation pitcher we've seen today has been very cognizant of Bellevue base runners. A lot of throws to try to get runners back to their respective base. The set, the hold, the throw over to first base once again. Mayeno back on the dive. Takumi Mayeno and Kanta Kobayashi in that race to see who's going to be the team stolen base leader. Takumi with 13 bags, 12 for Kanta coming into today's action. Mayeno on the run, ball hit to the right side. Down the line, Mayeno have to hold halfway. Diving attempt in right field. And a great catch in right field. We had to wait to make sure. Kudos to Matthew Womack for the diving grab right near the warning track down the right field side in foul territory. That'll be the first out of the inning as Grade is retired. That'll bring to the plate left fielder Mathieu Sirois, singled his first time up. Dwayne Monlex wants to talk to the home plate umpire. Thought maybe there was a bobble on the play. This is one of those difficult plays for the umpiring crew because the home plate umpire has to make the fair foul call on that. The field umpire is kind of caught between he going down to see if the catch is made. So anyway, whatever the issue, it does not get changed as we knew it wouldn't as Sirois awaits. Popped up, that'll get out of play. Whoops, sorry about that.
No problem. We're good. All right.
Is that your computer?
That's for Micah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We figured out what the cable was. My big feet unplugged Micah's computer for his games behind us. 0-1 the count. Runner goes. Throw to second base. A quick release. And it's in time to get down Takumi Miedo. A bang-bang play. Takumi doesn't agree with the call. But a strong throw from the catcher, Blake Portalski. Good quick release as well. 2-4 on the play for the second out of the inning. Up and away, up and in on the fastball. The Bruins in danger of the first time today not scoring a run in an inning in both halves of this doubleheader. 1-2 the count. Popped up, home run in the phone booth. Who's going to take charge? Pitcher and catcher? Neither one will be able to make the play as it glances off the glove of Portalski.
You call it. I'm hit.
We'll rule a base hit on that for Sirois. As again, trying to fight through the lights, trying to fight through the wind. You usually see a corner infielder try to come in and make that play. That's difficult for the catcher to go out there in fair territory like that. So a base hit for Sirois keeps the inning going for first baseman Trad Richardson. That one is going to leave the ballpark deep in the left center field. Trad Richardson with a 2-run home run. And so the Bruins streak of scoring runs in innings continues as Trad Richardson sends that one out into the parking lot. Sirois will score ahead of him. And the Bruins extend their lead to 10. For Trad, that is now his 7th home run of the year. And a couple of more RBIs will give him 24 on the season.
Batting, the second baseman.
Here's Drew Staley, the second baseman, with 2 away. Strike one called on the breaking ball from Tyler Clapp. That one was just kind of launched into the lights. We knew from the moment it left the bat that it had the distance. Solid contact by Richardson. As Staley sends that one foul over near the Bellevue dugout. Over near the area where Matthew Womack made a great play to start this inning. Drew with the bases clearing. Double his first time up today. Down the left field, the third base line, just foul. Diving attempt there by Martinez to glove it, but it was clearly in foul territory. Martinez gets a fist bump from Bellevue head coach Dwayne Monlex. 13th year of coaching at Bellevue University for Dwayne Monlex. Staley drives that one into the gap to left center field. Line drive will one-hop the fence. So Drew with a pair of doubles in his 2 at-bats in this second game of the doubleheader. So the Bruin hits have gone up to 9. 10 runs on 9 hits for the Bruins.
CJ Townsend.
Staley had a double in game number 1, so a 3-double day for Drew. Here's C.J. Townsend. Walked and scored a run his first time today. Swing and a miss. CJ trying to pick up where he left off in game number 1 with driving in 6. Another unbatted in opportunity right here.
Bumped his OPS over 800.
Upstairs on the fastball, 1-1 the count.
Team OPS is 1029, which is just wrong.
Down low.
We have Mike Trout's worst season in all 9 spots in our order.
Logan Grant and Trad Richardson have gone yard in this one.
His worst year is like 1,000.
Popped up to center field. Sarmiento on the run, just shy of the warning track. He will glove it to retire Townsend and end the inning for the Bellevue Bruins. 2 more runs on the board for Bellevue on 3 hits.
2 runs.
No errors, and 1 man left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 2nd inning, the Bellevue Bruins 10, the Presentation Saints nothing.
That's what I heard too. I missed it by a couple of years. It was more like a
Yes,
football game.
definitely. Yeah, much better atmosphere.
I think so too. Yeah.
Talking about the merits of the old Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha versus the new Charles Schwab now Stadium, the new home of the NCAA College World Series. As we get ready for the bottom of the 2nd inning, leading it off for the Saints, second baseman Trent White.
Swinging by tomorrow?
White was at the plate when the last inning ended, when Dawson Barson was thrown out trying to score. 0-2 the count now on White.
It's okay, we got to rip.
2 walks in the first inning for Blake Crippen, trying to find a groove in the second. Ahead 0-2 in the count. Just missed upstairs. Now 1-2. Again, a good pitch, good location. Try to get the batter to chase a bit out of the zone. Popped up right side. Richardson giving chase in foul territory. Now he'll set up and make the catch for the first out of the 2nd inning. Right fielder Matthew Womack. Outstanding catch. Defensively, does a little groundskeeping with his spikes. And now ready to hit. Blake Crippen working quickly off the outside edge. Womack was in left field in game number 1. Went 0 for 2 at the plate. Lays off that pitch. Now 2-0. Strike called at the knees, 2-1. Blake Crippen coming back from the 2-0 start. Now 2-1. Looks in, gets the signal from Logan Grant. Chopped on the ground. Trad Richardson grabs it, tosses over to Crippen, over quickly to cover, and there are 2 away. Nice job by Crippen. Anything hit to the right side of the infield, the pitcher needs to be heading over towards first base. Crippen did not hesitate. He was there in plenty of time to cover. Ideally, you want to kind of take a banana route over to the base, get there, make the catch before you step on the base. It's sometimes difficult to catch the ball and hit the base with your foot simultaneously. Perfectly executed by both Richardson and Crippen. Next up, third baseman Louis Martinez looks at a called strike 1. Swings and misses at strike 2. So Crippen quickly ahead, trying to get out of the inning in a 1-2-3 fashion. Chase pitch away. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. The strikeout retires the side. Blake Crippen has a strikeout in each of the first 2 innings. He was perfect in the second, 3 up, 3 down. after 2. Bellevue 10, Presentation nothing. Want to remind you that tomorrow's doubleheader action right here at John Stella Field at Brown Park will begin at 12 noon Central Time. We're expecting some bad weather to come into the Omaha area later Friday, late afternoon, early evening, so hopefully that noon start we can get both games in before the clouds and the rain come in. They're talking about some possible severe weather with lightning later on Friday night. We've enjoyed a pretty good spring weather season this year. The Bruins actually got games in February. Most of March was pretty decent. And in April, we've had temperatures in the 60s, 70s, and today in the 80s. So we'll take that about any old time. Two more home series after this one with Presentation will fill out the remainder of the regular season in North Star play. April 21st and 22nd, Mayville State will come to town to take on the Bruins. And then the regular season concludes April 28th and 29th against Dakota State. And that series looks like it'll be a real barn burner, to use an old-fashioned term, as those two teams battling it out for the conference championship in the regular season. All right, let's get going with the top of the third inning. Leading it off, Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta drives that pitch in the left center field. That one has some carry, and yes, sir, another home run. Kanta Kobayashi over the left center field fence for the solo home run. Third home run of the game for Bruin batters. Fourth of the season, third of the season for Kanta Kobayashi.
Probably won't get called out in the third on that one.
3 runs batted in by Kanta in this one. He had 4 batted in game 1. So a 7 RBI day for Kobayashi takes his total to 28 on the season. Here's Connor Barnett. Line drive. That one's through into center field. Just missed the glove of the pitcher. So Connor Barnett, a solid single to center, his second hit of the game. As the Bruin bats have now stung a dozen hits in the first 2+ innings. Here's Jake Lacey, the Bruin right fielder.
Right fielder, Jake Lacey.
Oh, we've said many times Kanta got the speed, but Kanta has some power as well, showing it on display today in all aspects of his game. Strike one call to Lacey.
He probably wouldn't, honestly. Like, no one like the kind of kid he is.
Well, I mean, like, that's an interesting game, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Pitcher Tyler Clapp looks in for the signal from his catcher, Blake Bertalski. Bertalski setting up on the outer half of the plate. That's where the pitch goes, but way wide. 1-1 the count.
I just heard the good game.
Jake started his college career at Miles Community College before becoming a Bellevue Bruin. Upstairs on the fastball, 2-1. Lacey now with the team-leading 50 runs batted in 37 games. Breaking ball just misses. Here's the pitch where Jake will be looking for his sweet spot.
Sounds like every woman anyone in my family ever dated.
Fastball, nice location on the knees by Clapp. Full count here. Barnett the runner at first. Still not fully recovered from that hamstring injury, maybe 80 to 90%. Probably not be running, especially with the big lead. That one's fouled up the first base side. First baseman and second baseman giving chase, and over shoulder the catch. Nice play there by the first baseman, Ethan Leach. Again, the wind affecting that one, pushing it more toward the foul line when it started out over near the fence. Although the wind has definitely died down from what it was earlier today.
That's surprising. People are way softer now than when they were in college.
Catcher Logan Grant next up for the Bruins, hitting out of the cleanup spot.
He served in World War II.
Inside, ball one.
Not at combat. He was
Logan had the 2-run home run in the first inning that helped jolt the Bruins to an 8th spot in that inning. Had a home run cut there, but fouled back to the net.
Grandpa seems like a code breaker. I don't know, I guess that was the name.
No, he was with the Brits. He was British. Mom's British.
The Alberta native, left-hand hitter,
That was a B-17 bomber.
awaits the next pitch.
Down in POW for like 4 months.
Right down the heart of play, not what he was expecting there. 1-2 the count.
It was him and this other dude that survived. The other guys died in the...
Tyler Clapp on the mound, his second full inning of relief work after starter Alex Tallman only lasted a third of an inning.
The American ones.
Japan?
The American ones, they didn't do anything.
Inside, now 2-2.
Which is interesting.
Smart.
They were new.
Because we probably would have dropped an A-bomb on them instead of Japan.
You watch. I just watched the. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, yeah.
Down low, Portowski, the catcher, tried to frame it. Didn't get the call. Now it'll be full.
That was like pro. Yeah, that was like.
We got the Game 2 Hubbas from the Sakamotos. And a Hubba Hubba Kanta, the outfield thief, coming through with the bat. And that one is going to leave the yard. Logan Grant with another tape measure shot over the scoreboard in right center field. Logan enjoyed that one on his trip down to first base. And the Bruin onslaught continues. Another 2-run home run as Logan Grant, the 4th home run of the game. Logan with 2 yards in this one. Tap of the helmets from his teammates as he head back to the bench. A 2-run homer in the first, a 2-run homer in the third by the Bellevue catcher.
Maybe.
The fifth batter.
Presentation just kind of looks shell-shocked. 13 runs on 12 hits for the Bruins. As the next batter, third baseman Nick Grade steps in. A little inside, ball one.
Thursday.
So Grant now with 7 home runs after the 2 in this one. And my poor stat sheet's going to need to be completely redone before tomorrow's doubleheader because I can't remember who I added totals to from game 1 or not. But a whole bunch of runs batted in for Logan Grant on the season. Had 38 coming into today, has at least 4 more in this one. Now a 2-1 count on Nick Grade.
He had 2 in the game. Looks like.
2 RBIs in game number 1, so 6 RBIs on the day. That one's hit down the right field line. Again, a long run for the right fielder, Matthew Womack. Again, he throws a dive, but this time he can't come up with the play. So Matthew Womack getting his yards in on running over the last couple of innings. So back to home plate goes Nick Grade as the at-bat continues. 1-2 the count. All right, so Logan Grant has 44 runs batted in on the year now, I believe. Nice take there by Grade, laying off that pitch, sweeping out of the zone. And the count goes full. A right-hander warming up in the presentation bullpen.
Is there supposed to be 2 out there?
It's okay.
Maybe before
Breaking ball, that one's going to get through for a base hit to left field. A breaking ball that Grade waited on. Hit a little bit off the handle of the bat, but muscled it through for the base hit. Now 13 runs on 13 hits. A Triskaidekaphobic's delight on the scoreboard.
I've got 14.
You've got 14. All right. We'll go with Bill at 14 in his computer.
Left fielder. Mathieu Sirois.
Here's Mathieu Sirois. Sirois with a couple of singles in this one.
Come on, man. Miss your spot.
A couple of singles in game number 1 as well. So a 4-hit day for the Quebec City native. Looks at a called strike 1. Had 3 hits in the Monday game against Midland University out of the GPAC non-conference action. Called strike two. Mathieu thought about that one. Broke into the zone. Mathieu had a good series against Waldorf last weekend in conference play as well. So kind of a debate who's the hottest hitter in the Bruin lineup right now. But he would be definitely one in consideration. Put Logan Grant in there as well. Jake Lacey fouled back to stay alive.
What are you going to miss most about?
That was the meal. Eating with the team.
He said he goes like,
That's sad, but that's real.
but it's the most real.
It really is.
It is.
Oh, I watched that and I was like, damn.
Again, I'd like to remind you, if you'd like to join our broadcast, send along a text message. Bellevue fans or presentation fans. Give you that number again in just a moment after this pitch.
Like, it was a genuine.
The hold, the pitch, foul back. Text message number is 402-515-7654. Again, thanks to all the folks who send along their text. Always fun to hear from people on the other end of our broadcast. Mick Krupski here behind the microphone, along with Bill Mullins from the Bellevue Sports Information Department.
You play so many.
Yeah.
You just remember like, oh, I like Mike. That's my buddy Mike.
Chopper, that's going to get through. A third hit of the game for Mathieu Sirois as he goes opposite field. Chops that one through. A 3-for-3 game for the Bruin left fielder.
Good job, Mike.
Nick Grade advancing to second on the play, so the inning continues for the Bruins. As now Trad Richardson steps to the plate. Trad went yard his last time up
First base,
after walking in his first trip.
Richardson.
So Sirois with 5 hits on the day. That takes him up to 37 on the season. Big swing by Richardson. It comes up empty. All right. Trad hit that home run for the Alpacas. I'm sure he was thinking about him. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left field. A solid single to left. And the Bruins play station to station with a big lead. So Trad Richardson with his second hit of this game. Grade at third, Sirois at second, Richardson at first. The batter will be Drew Staley, who delivered doubles each of his 2 times up in this game, including a 3 RBI double his first time up.
Matthew just went over 400 with that last two.
Mathieu Sirois over the 400 mark now with that last base hit.
If it's not too late.
A skip save by the catcher, Portalski, on that pitch away. Bellevue had a couple of 400 hitters last season. Mathieu Sirois at that mark right now. On the outside corner, good location by Tyler Clapp on that pitch to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1, 1 out, bases juiced with Bruins. And Staley got hit. That one stung a little bit. It kind of came in on him. Got him in the upper arm. So an RBI for Drew on the hit by pitch. 4 runs batted in on the game for Drew. Grade scores. Sirois to third, Richardson to second, and Drew Staley at first. Meanwhile, C.J. Townsend trying to keep the inning alive. First a visit from the presentation coaching staff. All right, we got a couple more text messages. Let's get to them here. The Hudlows from Minnesota enjoying catching a night baseball game. Keep it going, Bruins. Glad you guys are with us. Yeah, most of the college games are during the day, but as the weather warms up and we get to tournament time, we'll see more and more night action as well. Glad you're enjoying the contest from the Gopher State. Blake Portalski's family listening in Tacoma, Washington. They say, go Saints. We're glad you're with us today. Blake doing a nice job behind the plate. Wearing, as my dad used to say, the tools of ignorance of that catcher's gear. As I spent some time behind the plate at a couple of times during my, well, almost 50-year baseball playing career, from Little League to over 40 Senior League.
I made more friends.
Good job.
All right, looks like Clapp is going to stay in the game. As the Bruins, now with 10 consecutive innings of scoring not double digit, but crooked numbers, more than 1 in the inning. They've got their leadoff man on every single 1 of those 10 innings thus far today. Here's C.J. Townsend. Bruins already at the 14 mark on the run scored. Overhand breaking ball in the zone, called strike 1. Good start for Clapp after the visit from his coach. Infielders playing slightly in. Line to short, or ground to the short, excuse me. The out at second is the first out. The turn will not be in time. So Townsend will reach on the fielder's choice. He will get credit for an RBI as Mathieu Serra scores. Richardson to third. Staley retired 6-4 for the second out. And C.J. Townsend at first. So runners at the corners. Now 2 outs in the inning. And hey, here we are back to the top of the order. Kanta Kobayashi. You know you're scoring some run when your leadoff guy has been up for the 4th time, and it's still the 3rd inning.
He's just a triple away from the cycle.
Triple away from the cycle as well. Close to it. Got called out at third earlier at bat after collecting the double there. Clapp threw so hard he came right out of his cap. 1-1 the count on Kanta. Kanta hit over 400 last year for the Bruins. That one's fouled out of play.
Just hamming it up to the late pitcher.
The field lights at John Stella Field are the traditional metal halide lights. They're not the new LED lights. Off the outside edge. The darker it becomes into the night, the better the lights work.
Toilet.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. The strikeout retires the side. Kanta just a fuzz tardy on that one. The Bellevue Bruins pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 more runs in the inning. On 6 hits, there were no errors and 2 men left on base. After 2.5 our score, the Bellevue Bruins 15, Presentation Saints nothing. 15 runs on 15 hits, no errors for the Bruins. Straight zeros across the board thus far for Presentation.
15.
All right, a few more texts in there. Hey, Teron Williams family in Kansas City, Missouri. Thanks for making us feel like we're there. Great commentary. Go Bruins. Well, thank you for that nice compliment. I appreciate that. I enjoy this. This is a whole lot of fun for me. An old baseball player, coach, umpire. Go Saints and Wolfie Thorson. Love from Mom. All right. He came on for a pinch hit appearance in game number 1. Hey, if you would, give us the story behind Wolf Don Thorson's first name. Is that his real name or is that a nickname that he goes by? We'd appreciate knowing the story there. As we get ready for the bottom of the 3rd inning, Blake Crippen back to the mound. The first man he faces is the catcher, Blake Portalski. So we just heard from his family. Listen in. Blake steps in. First pitch from Crippen. Here's the second. Inside, on the inside corner. He steps out temporarily. Home plate umpire says, come on back in. 0-2 count. A half swing there. Portalski got fooled. And so it's a 3-pitch strikeout, the 3rd of the game for Blake Crippen. 9-hole hitter Dominic Sarmiento steps to the plate. Center fielder in both games of the doubleheader today.
Dominic Sarmiento.
Hit well to left center field. Mathieu Serra able to track it down, the left-hander. It's that glove up in the air to take a potential extra base hit away from Sarmiento. Quickly, 2 away in this bottom of the 3rd inning. A strikeout and a fly out back to the top of the order for Dawson Barson.
Played the shortstop, Dawson Barson.
Barson walked his first time up. Almost came around. They'll appeal to first base. They say he checked his swing, was thrown out trying to score. Crippen adds one more to the count. Lined into center field for the base hit. Yep, the first base hit for a presentation in both games of the doubleheader. Barson started off game number 1 with a single up the middle in that game and a single almost the same spot up the middle in this one. He has 3 hits on the day. Check that, make it 4. 3 in game number 1. First pitch fastball from Blake Crippen to Kobe Woodfin, a called strike 1. Woodfin, a strikeout victim, his first time up. A breaking ball. Got Woodfin on his heels as he thought it was coming in tight. Instead, it broke away into the strike zone. Woodfin from Cristobal, Texas. Swung on and missed. The strikeout retires the side. 2 of the strikeouts in the inning kind of got fooled. I better try to swing. Strikeouts number 3 and 4 in the inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. 3 innings in the book in this 7-inning scheduled contest. The Bellevue Bruins 15, the Presentation Saints nothing.
Do it, man. Say sorry, guys. I'm slacking.
A couple more texts. Night baseball. I love it. Watching my Bruins and my Padres. Great job on the broadcast, like always. Thank you. The Silicio family. As I spit all over my microphone and cell phone. Sorry for the bad pronunciation there. The Silicio family. Alex did a great job again today in earning his 7th win of the season. Got a follow-up to the Wolfie Thorson, love from Mom from North Dakota. Glad you guys are listening today. I remember saying his name in game number 1. What was that North Dakota town?
Michael Mullins, please report to the press box. Michael Mullins.
Bottineau, North Dakota. There it was. New pitcher for the Saints, now on the mound, number 45. Oliver Lewis coming into the game to pitch. 3rd pitcher of this game after the Saints used 4 in game number 1. Oliver Lewis is a freshman right-hander, 6'1", out of Warren, Michigan.
Coming out of Warren, Michigan. 45. Warren, Michigan. Yo.
Down the mound for the Saints, number 45, Oliver Lewis.
I'll let you know. You keep doing you.
And I'm looking for Oliver's name on the stat sheet here. This may be his first appearance of the season. Let's go with that. Oh, trailing 15-0. Why not? Here's Oliver Lewis, the first man he will face. Designated hitter Connor Barnett. Connor 2 for 3 in this one. Trying to keep that streak of leadoff guys getting on. And it may come to an end. Hit out to right field. And it's caught. And so 10 innings in the book. The Bruins have had their leadoff guy get on. But it comes to an end in the 4th inning on the fly out to right fielder Matthew Womack. Next up for the Bruins, right fielder Jake Lacey. Lacey 1 for 3 with the run batted in. So if Oliver Lewis were to stop right here, he'd have a perfect 0-0-0 earned run average. It can only go up from here. Want to know the count on Jake Lacey. Way wide. Now 2-0. Hitter's advantage. Jake Lacey.
Here, maybe the JUCO or wherever he went.
15 runs on 15 hits for the Bruins. Good symmetry there.
Well, he's been around. He's been coaching for a while. Got a couple state titles in high school.
Chopper, foul up the third base line. We were in the mid-80s when we started the game. It's dropped about 10 degrees, 74 officially in the Omaha, Bellevue area. Yeah. Wind has calmed down a little bit, too. Off the end of the bat, fouled the other way. Blake Crippen's family says, let's go Bruins. And a baseball emoji and a party emoji as well. Party horn emoji. Glad you guys are with us. Blake has been very sharp, has only allowed one hit through the first 3 innings of play. That one's lined hard to center field. That's going to wind up in the glove of the center fielder, Dominic Sarmiento. Sarmiento started across, then had to go back a couple, but stayed with it to make the play for the second out of the inning. 2 outfield fly balls to start this inning as Logan Grant steps in. Grant with a pair of 2-run home runs in this game.
Logan Grant.
With a hit by pitch, a walk in between. Up 3 times, on 3 times. Off the outside edge on the pitch from Oliver Lewis. The Bruins were not retired in order in the entirety of game number 1. And the same thing here in game number 2, unless Grant doesn't get on base. Foul back to the net. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on the Bruin catcher. Lewis works exclusively from the stretch. Here's his pitch. Up and away. 2-1, advantage hitter. Fouled out of play.
That seemed risky.
Go where it's kind of straight line. It's like a nice summer night. It's a nice little rain.
The long look in, gets the signal. Grant awaits. Down low.
Have you done any like marathon or something? No. Not marathon. During long runs of 14 miles. Yeah, man.
What's your wheelhouse, like 5Ks, 10Ks?
The set at the belt.
Right now, just
That could be number 3. Logan Grant watches that sail over the right field fence. A hat trick of home runs for the Bruin catcher. Logan Grant, a solo shot on this one. Not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs on the day, on the game for Logan Grant. 5 runs batted in total. And a big smile on Logan's face as he steps on home plate once again. Tip of the cap and handshakes with his teammates as he heads to the dugout. Add 1 more to the total for Logan Grant. Where's your stat sheet here? Logan, you are now up to 8 home runs on the season. Bill is looking to see 3 home run games in the history of Bellevue baseball. I don't recall many, if any.
JT had 3 in 1 year.
JT?
JT Patterson.
JT Patterson, Bill says, had 3 3-run home runs in 1 year. That was about 3 or 4 years ago? 2019. All right, so I'm pretty close to being on the mark. There is Nick Grade. Steps in. Oliver Lewis trying to get the 3rd out of the inning after getting the first 2. And a home run in between. That one's hit hard to center field. That one's going to drop, maybe extra bases. Definitely extra bases as Nick Grade turns on the Jets as he rounds first base. So 2 fly ball outs, and then a home run and a double. The Bruins keep the inning alive. 16 runs on 17 hits now as Mathieu Sirois steps to the plate. What's Mathieu done today? Oh, single, single, single. Run scored, run scored, run scored.
left fielder.
A 400 batting average for Mathieu at this point.
Last year, the bond deal. I worked
Trying to stay above that line as he awaits the first pitch from Oliver Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Mathieu had a cut, got under it, and sends it back out of play.
Yeah.
Go J.T. Patterson, you have some company in those 3 home run games for the Bruins.
He umps with Graham. Dude, it's a small world. Baseball, especially baseball. He's cool.
And Mathieu takes that one against the back on the hit by pitch. He will trot down to first base, so runners at first and second with 2 outs. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's a big, tough kid. Might have a little black and blue mark there later on tonight or tomorrow. As Trad Richardson steps to the plate.
Batting in the 7th spot, first baseman, Trad Richardson.
Trad with a 2-run home run. He's walked, homered, and singled in this one. And singled again right back through the box. Here comes Grade around third base. A nice tight cut around the bag. And Grade scores easily. A run batted in for Trad Richardson on his 3rd hit of the game. Surwa will stop at second base. And the next Bellevue batter, second baseman Drew Staley. Make that 17 runs on 18 hits now for the Bruins.
The second baseman, Drew Staley.
45 runs in total.
45 runs is a good total for this whole series of 4 games. The Bruins have accomplished that in a game and a half so far. There's always the fear that a team battling for the top spot in the league might overlook somebody on the bottom part of the schedule, but that has not been the case here today. Strike called on Staley, 1-1 the count.
I believe that this school got beat by the resistance.
2 out, 2 on for the Bruins. Called strike.
There's a good case
Lewis took a little something off that delivery.
that are successful at
1-2 the count on Drew.
I mean, their men's basketball had a really good year, but their coach just took another job anyway, so unlikely he would.
Lays off that pitch low. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
Actually, I said I really liked that coach they had a couple years ago when they tied us with the conference.
Runners at first and second for the Bruins. Richardson at first, Surwa at second.
Like, there was something like.
That's hit to right side. However, right at the right fielder, Matthew Womack, who will grab it to retire the side. So Bellevue keeps its streak of crooked numbers going now through 11 innings of play. 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning. No errors and 2 men left on base. After 3.5, our score, Bellevue 17 and Presentation nothing. All right, here's the update on that Wolfdon Thorson name. His dad named him Wolfdon Ole Mosing Thorson. His dad loves wolves, and Don was his dad's first name. His friends call him Wolfie, and his signature song on the field is Wild Thing. Of course, that's a great song for any baseball player, so we always love doing things with names. I mean, we talked about one of the players for, who was that? Was Valley City? No, it was from Waldorf, was named Atticus, so we figured that had to be connected to Atticus Finch. One of the players from Dickinson State, I believe, was named Ballas, B-A-L-A-S, which is an old English version of bailiff. So we're just curious about stuff like that. Thanks for helping us out with that. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Leading it off, designated hitter, Evan Booth.
Now for the Saints, the designated hitter, Evan Booth.
Strike 1 called on the first pitch from Blake Crippen to Evan Booth. Booth walked his first time up. Nice breaking ball on the inner half. Strike 2. Blake had a little difficulty in the first inning walking two, but got out of it without giving up a run. He's been dominant since. Now 1-2 the count. Only has allowed one hit on the game through the first 3 innings. Presentation, the home team in this 4-game series, right back through the middle, just past the glove of Blake. And a leadoff single by Evan Booth.
They have a class, and it's not just like a 48.
Cleanup hitter, first baseman, Ethan Leach. Stepping in, he flew out to second base his first time up.
Next, first baseman, Ethan Leach.
Leach had 2 hits in game number 1, hitless thus far in game 2. Only his second plate appearance in this one. That one gets away. Nathan Springer in the game behind the plate for the Bruins now. Just noticed that number 5 behind the dish.
So, yeah. Most
Bill, the runner advancing to second on the wild pitch. Chop foul up near the presentation dugout. Hey, nice play by one of the Saints in the dugout. Crippen comes set just above the belt, now delivers home. Down just a little bit. 1-1 count.
Something happened.
Excuse me, 2-1 the count now.
Something happened to our website. I can't find all the single game
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, sometimes some people do CrossFit or
Just off the outside edge, now 3-1 the count.
one day a week of swimming, 2 days, and they count that as mileage.
Presentation trying to plate their first run of this game. They scored 6 in the first game. Line foul up the left field side. Problem was for them was that Bellevue scored 28. Blocked up by Springer in front, but it's a ball 4 call. And so a single followed by a walk put runners at first and second. And the batter is the second baseman, Trent White. White batting in the 5-hole this game. Flew out to first his first time up. But a 3-hit game number 1 for White. Right now at the plate for presentation to try to get on the board. Bruins trying to prevent that. And that's going to be a base hit to left field. Surratt charging hard. And the runner's only able to move up 1 base. So the first 3 up all get on. Now 4 hits on the doubleheader for Trent White. And the batter is the right fielder, Matthew Womack.
Stepping up to the plate, right fielder, Matthew.
Bruins will play it at regular depth with a 17-run lead, yet you don't have to cut down an angle at the plate. You'll take an out wherever you can get it. Crippen takes a little something off that breaking ball and gets the swing and the miss. Again, the slow breaking ball swung on and missed. Let's see if Crippen tries to heat it up this time after disrupting the balance of the batter. Bruins would love a strikeout here if they can get it. Tries to go back door and gets the call. The strikeout looking is the 5th strikeout of the game for Blake Crippen. Now the Bruins can try to roll a double play ball and get out of the inning. The batter is the third baseman, Louis Martinez. Called strike 1. Good start for Crippen. Pitch outer half on the knees. Martinez struck out his first time against Crippen. Swing and a miss there. Now down 0-2. Martinez had an RBI double in game number 1 in a 1-for-3 game.
He might be.
Nice job by Springer keeping the ball in front on the pitch in the dirt.
like
Now 1-2.
really not on purpose. Like I have to go wake him up at like 7:30.
He's 6 and up.
That's gonna be really inconvenient. But I guess.
I think Barcelona did the weather is just tomorrow night, like, so I won't be surprised when you go up.
And that's fine. As long as
Fastball sails up and away, evens the count at 2-2. Bases loaded, one out in the inning.
oh yeah. You said
Blake Crippen on the mound, battling against Louis Martinez at the plate.
yeah.
Swung at and missed. The breaking ball that broke under the hands of Martinez for the swing and the miss. The sixth strikeout of the game for Blake Crippen. And catcher Blake Patulski will have the at-bat here to try to keep the inning alive.
Portalski.
No class.
With the bases loaded and nobody out, Crippen delivers 2 strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. One batter away from preserving the shutout. Portalski takes a pitch upstairs, ball 1. Portalski, an .061 hitter on the season. Again, the half swing there as he got fooled by the pitch. 1-1 the count. Over the last several batters, Blake Crippen doing a nice job of changing speeds on his deliveries. That one's fouled out of play right side. Portalski does not have a run batted in on the season. So for himself, he would like to help his team's cause here.
Thanks for keeping me honest, though.
Up the middle, that's going to drive in one. As it's cut off in shallow center field. So Blake Portalski, just as I said, he does not have any runs batted in. He'll get one off the end of the bat. And the first run of the game for a presentation, Evan Booth scores. Ethan Leach moving up to third, Trent White to second. And a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher. That will be number 23. Tyus Stanley. Tyus Stanley, the courtesy runner.
Now batting. Dominic.
All right, so the bases are still loaded. 1 run in, 2 outs. Bruins trying to get out of the inning with only giving up 1. The batter, the center fielder, Dominic Sarmiento. Fastball a little bit low. So Blake Portalski getting congratulatory slaps on the back from his teammates as he picks up the run, batted in. Little chopper up the third base line. That's going to be in foul territory. Ethan Leach looks like he may have a leg injury. He was limping pretty severely heading to third on that last hit, and now just seeing him try to come down the line there, he's grimacing with every step. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Sarmiento, the 9-hole hitter for presentation. Foul back to the backstop, 1-2. Top of the order on deck. We're at the bottom of the 4th inning of this scheduled 7-inning contest. No 10-run rule in these 7-inning games. In high school play, there's a 10-run rule after 5 innings of 7-inning games, but not in the NAIA. 1 hopper to second base. Drew stay with it, Drew. He does, and records the out at first base. Took kind of a funny hop coming up on Drew Staley, but he's able to collect it and throw out Sarmiento. 1 run on 2 hits.
1 run on.
3 hits, excuse me.
3 left on.
There were no errors. And 3 men left on base. After 4 complete, the Bellevue Bruins 17, the Presentation Saints 1. Back to the mound goes Oliver Lewis for his 2nd inning of relief work.
Because I'm sure you care so much because they're 19.
Thanks for the excellent broadcasting. Go Bruins. And don't let it go, guys. Peace emojis, sunglasses emoji, thumbs up emojis. 27s, fans, and all the Bruins. That's coming from north of the border up in Quebec. Glad you guys are with us once again. Hey, let's go Bruins. Be aware. The Townies are going to invade Brown Park next weekend. We're tired of the rain up in the Pacific Northwest. We can't wait to text you from the stands and a laughing face emoji. All right, the Townsends are coming. Be warned, everybody. Thanks once again for playing along with us on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Enjoy that cold one that you pictured us back in game number 1 today. I'm sure that's long gone by now. One final shout out if you want to send a long text message to us tonight. 402-515-7654. Hey, speaking of Townies, here's TJ Townsend leading off the 5th inning. The Bruins have batted around twice in this game in building up the 17-1 lead. 17 runs on 19 hits for Bellevue, 1 run on 4 hits for Presentation. Up and away on the first pitch from Oliver Lewis. His first action of the 2023 season. Breaking ball, misses away. Did you ever figure out who's famous from Warren, Michigan? You said you had heard that name somewhere before?
Warren's gone.
Seriously? Are you pulling my... Okay, thanks. Alec Ackerman, hard at work using his left hand up here, running the scoreboard, his right arm in the sling. A 3-0 start. I'm surprised you know Warren Spahn.
A little bit. I just know the name.
Oh, okay.
Linebacker? Was it linebacker or running back?
Oh, hit him in that sore arm for me, please. Milwaukee Braves pitcher, Hall of Famer.
Damn.
350-something wins.
4-pitch walk for C.J. Townsend as he leads off the inning. The Bruins have had their leadoff guy in every inning in game number 1 and game number 2 except for 1. Spahn and Sane and 2 days of rain was the Milwaukee saying back in the day. Warren Spahn and
Warren, Michigan's most famous person is probably rapper Eminem.
oh, rapper Eminem from Warren, Michigan. All right. So he and Oliver Lewis share the same hometown. Top of the order, here's Kanta Kobayashi. Kashi with 3 runs batted in, including a solo home run in this one.
Still needs a triple.
A triple will complete the cycle for him.
He'll probably get this in one more.
Hometown kid on
The way we're going.
Star Brains from.
Hometown boy.
I'm calling hometown hero. Hometown boy is kind
What do you
of
think?
derogatory.
Kanta up the middle.
Hometown guy.
Trent White, the second baseman, on a shovel to second base where the shortstop Barson covers. So Kobayashi reaches on the fielder's choice. Townsend retired on the 4-6 play at second base for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I like that.
Next up for Bellevue, have we got a pinch hitter here? Yes, we do. Number 36 for the Bruins. That will be Eric Anderson pinch hitting in the DH spot for Connor Barnett.
Bellevue's own Eric Anderson.
John Smoltz, also a native of Warren, Michigan.
Oh, John Smoltz from Warren, Michigan.
Quite a few professional athletes.
All right, Eric steps in. He had a pinch hit opportunity in game number 1. In fact, he had a couple of swings, a ground out and a fly out. Breaking ball, called strike 1 on the pitch from Lewis.
We've reached the portion of the evening that the ball played in the air with the strike.
Strike 2 called, almost the same spot. And as Bill noticed, as we get this point of the game in a large run differential, the strike zone tends to grow a foot, or I mean an inch. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Anderson. Swung on and missed. Good pop on that fastball from Lewis for the strikeout, the second out of the inning. Second strikeout for Lewis since coming on in relief. The next man he will face is Bellevue right fielder Jake Lacey.
Batting next for Bellevue, the right fielder, Jake Lacey.
Lacey 1 for 4 in this one. Got the Bruins on the board first. And there's another charitable call, strike one. So if you're the pitcher here, you know the zone is kind of expanding a little bit. You just keep trying to stretch it. Down low. You don't get so many calls up and down as you do get in and out, I think, as the game progresses with a big lead. That one too wide, 2-1 the count. Kana Kobayashi, the runner at first.
I know.
Upstairs. 3-1. Bellevue scored 8 runs in the first inning to get out of the gate quickly. 2 in the second, 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Chopper foul. That'll make it a full count with 2 outs. Kobayashi will be on the move with the pitch. So if Lacey can hit something to a gap, Conta should be able to score easily. And that one's behind the batter. Oh, they say it tipped the back. Either way, Jake's going to head down to first base. Kobayashi at second, so the Bruins trying to keep their streak of scoring in every inning of both games of this doubleheader rests upon the bat of Nathan Springer. I guess Dwayne Monlux figured that Logan Grant had worked hard enough today with 3 home runs, one of them a solo, 2 of them 2-run jacks, and then a walk his other time. So here's Nate Springer's first at-bat of this game. Outside, ball 1 call. Nate 1 for 2 in game number 1, coming on in relief of Grant.
I was a 3-run homer away from the home run cycle. And I had 2 runners on base my last inning. I come up.
In tight, 2-0.
Bug in my eye as the pitch came in. Rolled it over.
Some timing.
This sucked. We were getting our ass kicked. So
Springer with 11 at-bats on the season thus far.
3 homers. I almost had a home run cycle.
we were down.
Chop that one foul.
I think we lost like 19-7. No,
You had all the RBIs.
we have
2 hits in those 11 at-bats.
8 or something like that.
And it's, what is that, 7 on the day?
Yeah, something like that. It's a good day.
Slight work.
Yeah.
You just launched them.
2-1 count. Oliver Lewis comes set. Springer chopped on the ground to shortstop. Shoveled over to second to retire the side. On the fielder's choice, the side is retired. No runs.
All the leagues out here.
On no hits, there were no errors. 2 men left on base. So for the first time tonight in 12 innings, the Bellevue Bruins put up a goose egg on the board. No runs, hits, or errors. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's Bellevue 17, Presentation 1.
The teams hit as many home runs as they can. I'm sure it's a home run slugfest.
There was a tournament last year in CB where
Oliver Lewis's father watching from Detroit, Michigan. It's not his first action, but I am enjoying your broadcast. And he says, yes, John Smoltz is from Warren, Michigan as well. So confirmation of that. Glad you're with us. I'm trying to find Oliver's name on my stat sheet here, and I don't find it in that pitching. So I'll look again, but I have been known to be wrong on time to time.
I'll do some research.
Just ask my wife. She can name all those very instances when I was wrong about something.
I'll do some digging for you as well.
All right, and Bill's going to get on it too.
Okay, talk about it. Takumi Mayana. Where's Takumi? Right field.
Did it mean Lacey went to left?
Favorite first.
All right, defensive changes for the Bruins. Jake Lacey back into left field.
Sakamoto.
Cade Sakamoto is at first base.
Right field.
We're assuming in the spot of Trad Richardson. Is Takumi in right, did you say? Takumi Maeno will stay in the game to play right field. We think batting in Mathieu Serrois' spot.
8-0 for presentation.
All right.
Carson.
Here we go with the bottom of the fifth inning. First batter faced is the top of the order, Dawson Barson. Blake Crippen back to work. Overhand breaking ball. Flared down the first base side. Cade Sakamoto under it. And the southpaw first baseman makes the catch for the first out of this bottom of the fifth inning. Barson has been a pesky hitter for presentation. Both games of this doubleheader. Retired to start this inning. Here's Kobe Woodfin, 0 for 2. Lefty-lefty matchup. Fastball, outer half, called strike one. Another good start by Blake Crippen. Chopper opposite way. C.J. Townsend, the long throw across the diamond. An excellent play by the Bruins shortstop. Having to go to his right, circle behind it, so he got a good angle on the throw, showing off a strong arm. 6-3 on the play. Tip of the cap to C.J. Townsend. Woodfin trying to signal safe as he crossed first base, but out by half a step. Here's the designated hitter, Evan Booth. First pitch away. Second pitch on the corner, 1-1 the count. Evan with a unique spelling of his first name, E-V-Y-N, Evan Booth. And Evan Booth delivers a line drive into right field for a one-hop base hit to keep the inning alive. His second hit of this game. So 2 for 2 with a walk. He's been on base all 3 times. And that'll turn it over to the cleanup hitter, first baseman, Ethan Leach, excuse me. On the inside corner, strike one call. Quick sip there. Springtime allergies kicking in. Leach, a pop-up and a walk. Pickoff move to first base. It's a good one. Evan Booth hung up to drive by that crafty left-handed move of Blake Crippen. 1-3 on the putout. And the side is retired. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We're through 5 innings of play. 2 more to go in this one. The Bruins still with a very comfortable 17-1 lead on the evening.
What is this song?
Jim Croce.
That's what it sounded like. I just wasn't positive.
Don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind.
Stats for Mr. Lewis.
Okay. What's that? All right.
Leroy Brown,
Bad Leroy Brown.
baddest man in town.
All right, Oliver Lewis. This is his 9th appearance on the season. No wins, no losses, no saves, 10 2/3 innings. 14 hits, 23 runs, 15 of them earned. 11 walks, 9 strikeouts at 12.66 earned run average. So for some reason, he didn't show up on my printout.
You want water out here, man? Come on, Tyler.
All right, we are up to date with 2 innings to go. Look for the Bruins to send up some pinch hitters, maybe add another reserve or 2 into the game for some experience, as they will go up against Oliver Lewis, now in for his 3rd inning of relief work for presentation. Third baseman Nick Grade will lead it off in the top of the 6th inning for the Bruins. A total of 45 runs in these 2 games for Bellevue. 26 in game number 1. Wait a minute, that's not right. 28. 28 at game number 1, 28-6, and 17-1 in this one. Nick Grade with 2 hits in this one.
There was no pitching, apparently.
First pitch up and in.
Let's check the box score. That's going to be ridiculous. 40 runs.
We got it. Thanks from Oliver Lewis's dad. Thanks, guys. Didn't want those stellar stats going unrecognized. All right, so we're glad you updated us so we can update back at you. Strike one swinging, 1-1 the count on Nick Grade.
At least he had a sense of humor.
That's right. Grade with 3 runs scored in this one.
Valley hit 7 home runs and lost.
Chopper to his third base counterpart. Handled over there by Martinez. The throw was on the money. 5-3 on the putout. Starts off the 6th inning. Valley City State had 7 home runs against Waldorf and lost, did you say?
25-20.
Wow, 25-20. Waldorf beat Valley City to State today.
At Waldorf.
At Waldorf, which is a kind of a short porch, obviously, and the wind blowing out there, too. Next up is Takumi Maeno. Takumi with his first at-bat in this game.
See how game 2 of that doubleheader is going. Not much better for Valley.
Breaking ball away.
Let's give him a salute. Let's give him his first home run.
Takumi, a very valuable asset for the Bruins. For his base running skills, primarily, but also a good defensive player. That pitch on the outside edge called strike, 1-1.
3 more homers for Valley in game.
And coming around with the bat as well. 17-4, Waldorf leading Valley in the second game of their doubleheader, so they got their series pushed up as well, trying to beat the impending bad weather. Again, same spot, outside edge, 1-2.
And Mayville swept the Turbo in a doubleheader, 15-10 and 7-4.
And Mayville State defeated Viterbo in a doubleheader, sweeping both ones there.
15-10 and 7-4.
15-10 and 7-4. Breaking ball away. Normally North Star games are Friday, Saturday affairs, but trying to get them in ahead of the cold front and rain coming. Last I heard, they're expecting the rainy weather to come in sometime around 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow. We should be able to get a doubleheader in before that. Pop in the air up to center field. On the move is the center fielder, Dominic Sarmiento. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. And Bill just told me they're talking about maybe even trying to move up tomorrow's doubleheader, which is scheduled to start at noon, maybe moving that up even a little bit earlier. So keep aware at the BUBruins.com website for any update. Or the BU Bruins Facebook page. Here's Cade Sakamoto. Cade had a pinch hit base hit in game number 1 today. Called strike 1. Oh, 1 the count to Sakamoto. That one's hit hard to center field, but right at Sarmiento. Now it has a little bit more carry that sends him back further. But Sarmiento makes back-to-back plays to retire the Bruins in the top of the 6th inning. And so for the first time today, the Bruin batters are retired in order over 13 innings of offense. Dwayne Monlix again pulls the lineup card out of his pocket. Let's see what other changes we have. The first obvious one is a new pitcher coming in for the Bruins. Now pitching for Bellevue is number 37, Elijah Borson. So Blake Crippen, the starting pitcher, is done after 5 innings. And Borson will come on to try to get an inning or 2 of relief work and get this one into the books.
Just take a break. Just relax. You'll live.
Elijah, the freshman right-hander, this is his 6th appearance on the season. No wins, no losses in 4 1/3 innings of work. He's given up 4 hits, allowed 2 runs, both of them earned, has walked 2, struck out 6, a 4.15 earned run average.
Did you get Garner in second?
Aaron Garner in at second base for Drew Staley.
That appears to be all for now.
All right.
Change, of course, but you mentioned that.
So we'll draw a line here. 1 run on 5 hits. The night's work for Blake Crippen. Blake struck out 6 as well, so he's in line for another win as Elijah Borson to the mound. First pitch, a cut fastball, ball 1 low on the delivery to first baseman Ethan Leach.
Mr. Crippen, that would be win number 19 for his career.
Fouled out of play right side. If this one holds up, which has about a 99% probability, it will be his, did you say 19th? 19th career victory. Oh, earlier this year, Alex Salicio got to
17.
win number 20, picked up number 21 tonight, so Blake right on Alex's heels. A little bit low on that fastball, 2-1.
Really?
This one started just before 8 o'clock Central Time. There's nice movement on that slider into the zone. 2-2 count
I know those teams were.
on Leach. Walked his last time up. Flew out his first time. Fouled right side out of play.
I think it was his senior season they had to vacate all their wins.
They went to the national team. I'm surprised. So they actually won the league one year. They're probably most.
No one.
Down low.
I'm sure that's what happened.
But I think that
Full count.
was before, like the eligibility center's terribly used still.
No, I bet it was crazy.
Yeah.
Bellevue has won 24 of their last 26 games. Borson locks the leadoff guy. That's not what you want to do with a big lead. And that'll send to the plate second baseman Trent White. Bellevue is now 20-2
Next to the plate, the second baseman.
at Brown Park, John Stella Field. A little bit up. They appeal. They say no swing. And for the 12th time under head coach Dwayne Mollix, the Bellevue squad with their win on Monday against Midland University has gone over the 30-plus win mark. 12th consecutive time, not counting the COVID year, which was disrupted after the first month and a half or so.
Played 20 games. 20 games.
20 games? Nice location on that slider.
That's what that ball four was. Like.
The season was canceled after the Bruins came back from their Florida trip in 2020. Everybody who played got an extra year of eligibility. Nice block by Sprenger there on that pitch in the dirt. 2-2 the count. Where were you in 2020, Alec?
I was in San Jose, California, man.
San Jose, California.
Slumming it up.
Oh, that one goes head high. No advance by the base runner, however. Ethan Leach not exactly sure what happened on the play, so he remained planted at first. And now Dwayne Mollix wants to go out and talk with his pitcher.
My front porch with Santa Clara, you came over.
Elijah Borson on in relief of starter Blake Crippen.
How close were you guys?
Having a little difficulty with his control, walking the leadoff guy.
10 minutes. San Jose. That's right. San Jose.
I don't know
right
the
down
geography
there.
that well.
Sometimes it's mechanical,
Close to Stanford too, then, right?
Stanford's like 20 minutes.
sometimes pointing things out. A little minor thing,
Played there. I was
or a boost of confidence.
Stanford is a sweet stadium.
I'm sure.
Or words similar to, we're up by 16 runs, throw it in the strike zone. Choose whichever way you think is most effective if you're the head coach. Here's the pitch. Swung out and missed. White realized it was going to be out of the strike zone, but couldn't hold up. The first strikeout for Elijah Borson. 1 out, 1 on. The batter will be the right fielder, Matthew Womack.
Next to the plate,
0 for 2.
Like a smaller
Matthew
one, like just
Womack.
for them, like For the regular season. No one knows. Yeah.
Womack tries to hold up, but can't.
Downtown, however, they were like hookers on the corners at night and stuff. Legit. These like Grand Theft Auto, other than GTA, helicopters with spotlights going on.
Short lead at first. Again, a nice job by Sprenger on that pitch that bit about 2 feet in front of home plate.
Spartans.
The good thing about a fastball that's short like that, you know it's going to come straight. You just don't know exactly how high. So a good job by Sprenger to keep his body low and take it off the chest protector. Nice breaking ball by Borson. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. That one bounces out towards the pitcher. Again, we mentioned earlier it seemed like Ethan Leach has a leg injury, so he's just not trying to advance on anything unless he's 100% sure. Doesn't want to strain whatever issue he may have with whichever leg is the problem.
It's probably the best of the mid-majors.
You can kind of see him on the right corner of your screen, just about a yard off of first base. So Bruins with the chance to double him up. That one's hit well to left field. That has some distance. Jake Lacey at the fence will grab it right on the warning track, about a stride away from the fence. If that would have been hit earlier in the day with the winds of gusting, that would have been out of here, but instead it winds up about 5 feet short of the fence. For the second out of the inning, Jake Lacey, who just switched over from right to left, makes the play. Next up, third baseman Louis Martinez. Fouls back to the net. Martinez struck out twice against Blake Crippen, so he's happy he's out of the game. We'll try his luck now against Elijah Borson.
Yeah, cool, Jack. Yeah. Cheat because that TV Max and Omaha when someone buy it, you know, San Jose's stay there.
Fastball nicely located. 0-2.
It's blue and yellow.
I mean, that's most of the UC schools, though.
Yeah, the California schools
Morrison slips on his landing, but still delivers a slider over the outside edge for the called strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Elijah. No runs on no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base, the leadoff walk, but then Borson able to corral and collect himself and retire the side after that. Heading into the 7th and final inning, the Bruins 17, the Saints 1. Listening to baseball on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. We'll be right back at this tomorrow afternoon. For now, anyway, the starting time is set for 12 noon. Stay tuned for updates on the BUBruins.com website.
Who's the Roadrunners that are blue and yellow?
Oliver Lewis back to the mound to try to finish this one off for presentation.
Yellow. I think it's like
Quick step out for me.
UC schools have to have.
All right. Stepped out for a minute to take care of my springtime allergies. I'm sure you didn't want to listen to me blow my nose there. Top of the 7th for the Bruins. Again, the visiting team in this entire 4-game series. Second baseman Aaron Gardner will lead things off.
Top of the 7th for the Bruins. Second baseman Aaron Gardner.
Here's the pitch from Lewis, way wide all the way back to the screen. seen a couple of times here as of late where pitchers have a little difficulty with their landing spot. I don't know if the turf is getting slick there or not. Most of the pitchers like to work from the first base side, so that part of the landing is a little bit more worn out maybe. That pitch up and away, 2-0. Aaron Gardner leading it off in the top of the 7th inning. Gardner came out in game number 1, had a couple of RBIs on a single and a sacrifice fly. Ahead now 3-0. Nobody in action down in the bullpen for a presentation, so this looks like it's going to be Oliver Lewis's game to finish. He's done a nice job since coming in relief. 3-0 green light. Gardner fouls it out of play. For presentation, Alex Tallman was the starter, but he only lasted a third of an inning. Then Tyler Clapp came in relief. Now Oliver Lewis. Up and in, so a walk for Gardner. And of the 14 times that they've had an at-bat inning, Bellevue leadoff guys have been on 13 of the 14 times. Last inning, the 6th, the only time Bellevue did not get its leadoff guy, 12 out of 14. The 4th and the 6th, the only time the leadoff guy did not get on. The Bruins accomplishing all 7 innings in game number 1. The batter, C.J. Townsend. Pitch upstairs, ball 1. There's a pitch on the inner half for the called strike.
They just happen to win 16.
Well, I don't think I'd say they're dominating. They're better than everyone they're playing, and they're beating them. There's been a lot of close games in there, too.
CJ awaits the pitch.
Like, I think of their 16, like 5 or 6 of them.
2-1.
So, I mean, they're just a couple of plays away from being just over 500 club. But, I mean, they're winning those games, so good teams do win.
That's pretty amazing.
What's that?
Upstairs once again as Lewis struggling with his command a bit.
Of their 16 conference wins.
Don't know what his longest stretch on the season has been, but this one's been extended since coming on in the 4th. A little flare out behind second base. It's going to drop in for the base hit. Gardner will head on down to second as C.J. Townsend picks up another hit on the day. So the Bruins with another 20 or more hit game on the season. Bellevue has scored 20 or more runs 5 times, so a couple hits away from doing that for the 6th time. Back to the top of the order. Here's Kanta Kobayashi. As I went into the dugout earlier today to get the lineup, Kanta and Takumi were speaking in Japanese in one corner of the dugout. It was just kind of interesting. I thought, well, what are they talking about here?
The closest they've played to a ranked team is Columbia, who was receiving votes, and I lost 10-7.
2-0 the count. Kanta has been up to bat a ton today. 7 times at game number 1 in the 7 innings. And takes that one off the front leg on the hit by pitch. And this was the 6th time he was up today in 7 innings. And he reaches on the hit by pitch. The bruise in the base, so Kanta is at first. CJ is at second. And Aaron is at third. And the batter will be Eric Anderson.
Stepping up to the plate, the designated hitter, Eric Anderson.
Anderson hitting .275 coming into today's action. Struck out his first opportunity to bat earlier in this game.
First time with back-to-back 20
That one is launched, but well ahead. That one's going to wind up across the street, up the hill, and good luck finding that one. Yeah, presentation back in their bus in the entryway here. That one was even further wide than the bus. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Stays upstairs, 1-1. Lewis has good sweeping motion on his breaking ball down and across away from the right-handed batters.
First time with back-to-back 20-hit games since April 29th, 2019 against Waldorf.
That one's hit sky high to center field. Center fielder Sarmiento has it played. He'll collect the out, and on the play, the tag up at third by Aaron Gardner. And the Bruins make it now 18 runs on their half of the ledger. A sacrifice fly RBI for Eric Anderson. Runners at first and second now, one away. Hit me with that stat again, please. This is the second time the Bruins have scored 20 runs in back-to-back games since?
First time with 20
That is
since
the first spot. Right
Since
fielder.
April 29th.
Since April of 2019 against Waldorf. The batter, Jake Lacey. First pitch swinging, kiss that one goodbye. That's another home run, the fifth of the game for the Bruins. A 3-run home run, and the Bruins pass the 20-run mark once again. C.J. Townsend scores, Kanta Kobayashi scores, and last but not least, Jake Lacey comes across with the home run and 3 more runs batted in. More research. Jake Lacey now with 53 runs batted in on the season, 10 home runs.
I was not expecting that kind of play.
And these stat sheets are just a nightmare of ink at this point. 21-1, 21 runs on 21 hits. As the batter is the catcher, Nate Springer. That one's hit opposite way. Womack, the right fielder, toward the line, now coming in a little bit. And he will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Third baseman Nick Grade stepping to the plate for the Bruins. Nick with a couple of hits, 3 runs scored. A double in the 4th inning.
Plate, third baseman, Nick Grade.
First pitch fastball, strike one call. Again, it was 28-6 in game number 1, 21-1 right now. 49 runs scored by the Bruins in these 2 games. 0-2 the count on Grade. Bounced up.
Probably competing with
Blocked by Portalski. Took that one off the forearm. That one's going to sting a little bit. 1-2. And that one a little bit up.
How old is he?
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. We're at the top of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss for the strikeout to retire the side. The Bruins add 4 more runs on the total, 3 of them coming on the swing of the bat by Jake Lacey. 4 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base as we head to the final half inning. Bellevue 21, Presentation 1.
Oh, gosh.
Elijah Borson back to the mound for his second inning of relief work. Trying to nail this one down. And a substitution in center field. Number 35 going in out there will be Houston Fogelstrom replacing Kanta Kobayashi.
Out center field for Bellevue. 35, Houston Fogelstrom.
All right, the rest of the defense looks the same. Cade Sakamoto at first, Aaron Gardner at second, C.J. Townsend at short, Nick Grade at third. Jake Lacey in left, Houston Fogelstrom in center, Takumi Miano in right. First pitch to Blake Portalski, leading off the bottom of the seventh inning. Last chance for a presentation. Foul out of play, right side. Portalski 1 for 2 today, a single and an RBI, the only run batted into the game thus far for a presentation. That came in the fourth inning. Called strike 2. Swing and a miss, quickly dispatching Portalski on 3 pitches, a first out of the inning. Third strikeout in an inning in the third for the Bruin right-hander, Elijah Borson. Borson, a freshman out of Cairo, Nebraska. Bounce to the plate. Short hop glove by Springer. And right back to the mound. Right back to work. Temperatures for tomorrow afternoon's doubleheader are still expected to be very summer-like. Into the upper 70s, and then when the cold front comes through, the temperature is going to drop very abruptly with a chance of some rain, a chance of some lightning, so that's why they're hoping to get both games in early tomorrow. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Dominic Sarmiento, the center fielder. Sarmiento's got a lot of exercise out there in center field tonight, ranging wide and far to try to track down balls hit by the Bruins. That one's upstairs, and that'll be a walk for Sarmiento, his first time on base today, turning it back over to the top of the order.
First time scoring 20-plus in consecutive games since February of '94.
February of 1994 was the last time the Bruins have scored this many runs in consecutive games. More than 20. 28 and 21.
That's the most runs we've ever put up in a doubleheader.
Swing and a miss. Most runs ever in a doubleheader. 49 runs scored.
If we give up 20 here.
Sweeping breaking ball for the called strike. Now 1-2. Whereas Dave and Lucas Gabriel, we should say, hey, there's been some basketball games where we haven't scored this many. Give them a hard time. Correct myself. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Appeal to the base umpire. No swing. Dawson Barson now with a 2-2 count. Barson has been pesky. That's what you want a leadoff guy to be. 4 hits in the doubleheader plus a walk. He's been on base a lot. Fouls that one out of play over the Bellevue dugout. Takumi Maeda out in right field making me chuckle. That pitch was nowhere near him, but he was still jumping up pretending like he was making the catch on the play.
Please check BUBruinathletics.com for an update on game time.
Overhand breaking ball stays upstairs.
Just say scheduled for.
Yeah, so scheduled game tomorrow.
Visit BUBruins.com for all the latest.
Fouled out of play. We'll be playing a lot of baseball in less than a 24-hour period. We're going to try to get 4 games in. This doubleheader started at 5 o'clock, so if we start at noon tomorrow and go 5 hours, we will have completed 4 games in 24 hours. We should all get Purple Hearts or something for that effort.
I think so.
Hopefully we can put up 100.
And the home plate umpire says that Barson went around on the swing for the second strikeout of the inning for Elijah Borson. Tried to hold off, but couldn't. And looks like we'll have a pinch hitter with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Stepping to the plate will be Wolf Don Thorson. All right, we talked about Wolf Don earlier. He'll get another pinch hit opportunity right here.
4, Wolf Don Wilson.
We already played that.
Wilson?
We just did that?
Played that Valley already. Played Mayville.
Thorson was hit by a pitch, his only time up in game number 1. First pitch fastball misses outside. Again, Thorson from Bottineau, North Dakota.
Wolf Don.
Borson delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
North Dakota for you.
Outside, 2-1. Bruins trying to make this the last batter of the game. Presentation trying to extend it a little bit longer. They know realistically they're not going to put up 20 runs, but try to finish well to set a little momentum going into tomorrow's doubleheader. Slider catches the outer half, evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Those are really my favorite pitchers to hit as a lefty. Stuff that starts off the plate and breaks.
Bellevue has put up runs in 5 of the 7 innings in this nightcap. 21 runs on 21 hits. 1 run on 5 hits thus far. That pitch in tight. So we'll go to a full count. The runner at first, Dominic Sarmiento, will get a little head start. Sakamoto not holding him on anyway, but
Should my headline just include us outscoring them 49-7 on the doubleheader?
popped up the left field side and out of play. There's that full count pitch once again. Straight coming our way, but hits the netting and bounces back. "37 pitches in 2 innings of relief work for Elijah Borson. Probably more than he wanted to throw, but getting some good experience on the mound. That one's hit well by Thorson to the right field side. Takubi Maeda to the fence. He will watch it go over. Wolf Don Thorson with a 2-run home run. Pinch hitting to make it a 21-3 ball game. The Wolf Don Thorson heading down the third base line with a smile on his face. A helmet bump with teammate Evan Booth. And let's check the presentation sheet here.
2-run home run, yes, sir.
Wolf Don Thorson, that is his first home run of the season. And now 4 runs batted in. Next up, 3-hole hitter Evan Booth, the designated hitter.
2-0.
2-0 the count. As Borson probably a little angry at himself after giving up that home run. A little extra adrenaline bouncing. Booth with 2 hits in this one. Lays off that pitch up.
I know you want your guys to have innings, but you need to go 5 here. I mean,
Or we should just every inning.
On the outside edge, now 3-1. Let's see if Borson can come all the way back.
I think that's going to be good for you. Only going 3 or 4 and just letting it rest.
yeah, then you get a week to over.
And he does not. Has the walk to Booth.
It's not like a bullpen.
Booth has been on base each of the 4 times he's been up today in this game with 2 singles and 2 walks. And the batter now, first baseman Ethan Leach.
Ethan Leach.
Leach has drawn a couple of walks. Outside, ball one.
I am happy to see Wilson getting innings because, like, as a freshman, he could be around for 3 more years. It could be maybe bullpen next year and then a starter going down the road, or maybe just 4-year bullpen.
Elijah comes set at the letters. Breaking ball a little bit too low.
Hard to find good bullpen arms.
Called strike on the knees, 2-1. Bruins trying to get the final out in this bottom of the 7th inning to sweep the doubleheader and get ready for tomorrow's twin bill. Down to third base, Nick Gray gloves it on the second hop, throws to Aaron Gardner at second, and on the fielder's choice, the side is retired. 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. It's in the books. The Bellevue Bruins win it by a score of 21-3. 21 runs on 21 hits. There were no errors. For presentation, 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. A good defensive game. A lot of offense by the Bruins in this one as the Bruins pick up 49 runs in the doubleheader with the victory. Bellevue now 32-6 overall, 17-1 in conference play. Presentation Saints remain winless on the season, now 0-32, 0-18 in conference play. Blake Crippen picks up the win as the starting pitcher for the Bellevue Bruins. Another tip of the cap to catcher Logan Grant. 3 home runs in this nightcap to help spark the Bruins to the big victory. We will be back here tomorrow afternoon or perhaps late tomorrow morning. Right now, the doubleheader tomorrow is scheduled to start at 12 noon. There is a chance that they may try to move it up, if possible, an hour earlier, so you can follow along at the BUBruins.com website. Don't know if that's what the coaches are talking about down in the field tomorrow or not, but I'm sure they would try to make a decision as soon as possible so everyone knows, umpires, players, and us as well, and you too listening in. Thanks once again to Bill Mullins for his great work beside me, feeding me with information and gummy bears. And we'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow afternoon for more baseball. Bruins and Saints tomorrow afternoon right here on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Mick Krupski signing off for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.